Howdy, Junction. In 4th or 5th grade, my parents got me my own computer and I went crazy. I was running around and jumping around our house, yelling and hitting walls, just yelling for joy. This was mainly because I was super excited to play sports video games on the computer. If I remember correctly, it was a budget eMachines PC, but it was one of my favorite gifts of all time, and I got tons of hours of fun out of it and even a little schoolwork done on it. I don't know what your favorite Christmas gift is or where it is now, but I'm no longer using that computer that I got as a kid. Eventually it became too old and slow and I moved on. For that matter, eMachines, the company that made the computer, doesn't even exist anymore. However, I also know that we have all been given the greatest, most amazing, most costly gift of all time in Jesus, who endures the test of time. It's easy to get swept up in the other aspects of this holiday season and become numb to that truth or view it as cliche, but God's gift of Jesus changes literally everything. Regardless of whether Christmas is your favorite time of the year or fills you with dread and opens past wounds, regardless of whether this year was a great one or the worst year of your life, we can draw peace, comfort, and security from the fact that God will one day make all things right, and Jesus' birth was the first step in that process. So today I want to encourage us to read Luke 2:22 through 40, which tells about the story of two devout followers of God, Simeon and Anna, who had been waiting their whole lives for the gift of the Messiah. It had been roughly 400 years since God last spoke to Israel at the close of what we know as the Old Testament. Israel was under Roman rule and things were generally looking pretty bleak. Maybe 2023 was a terrible year for you and you're wondering if God is real, if he cares about you, or if he has forgotten about you. Imagine how the Jewish people felt after about 400 years of silence and multiple periods of captivity and oppression. The good news is that God understands your suffering and meets you where you are. Even though Jesus was still just a little baby when Simeon and Anna saw him, Simeon was so moved that he said, "Sovereign Lord, as you have promised, you may now dismiss your servant in peace, for my eyes have seen your salvation." God's gift of Jesus is still just as important now as it was 2,000 years ago. So regardless of how this Christmas finds you, let's take a moment to pause and celebrate the fact that we have a Heavenly Father who loves us deeply and is moving to fix all things, even when we can't see it and it doesn't feel like it. Merry Christmas, Junction.